So what does this have to do with the show? I was curious how long that would take. Okay. The characters in this show, they do things, they do ridiculous things, they say bizarre things. They're not normal people. And the show's not being told from a normal point of view. I say if you show up, don't trust the show. Don't trust the way the story is being told to you. If, for most of this show, Andrew Jackson is an awesome rock star, I would suspect that this show is perhaps being brought to you by the campaign to re-elect Andrew Jackson. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it seems to be a little bit tilted toward maybe his own point of view of himself. Don't trust the show. It's a sort of show where you need to come in, sit down, lean forward, and think a little bit. And for me, that's why we're doing it. It's not an easy show, particularly for the guys who have been working on this. I feel bad for them. It is hard. But like any sort of strength training, it's got to be difficult for you to get strong. And I think there's strong education in us doing hard, difficult things. So let's talk about the set that's behind me here, right? Sometimes when things become a little different and a little strange, we look a little closer. I am sure you have heard about your presidents in a class. The show makes it a little strange and a little different so that you might look a little closer and pay a little more attention to it. This sort of thing means that there's signs, there's actors who talk to the audience, there's actors who don't necessarily stick to playing their character. And the set doesn't look like a place because it's not really about a specific place. If anything, the form and content of the set the form of the set should tell you about the content of the show. It's a bunch of old weathered wood speared and impaled at strange angles by hard pieces of steel. If when you come in and take a seat, you don't get the impression that there might be some conflict in this thing, you haven't been watching, right? So we have elements of this almost expressionistic, non-realistic Brechtian drama, this sort of thing where it's okay that we have a president holding an electric guitar. We have elements of maybe a sort of constructivist, exposed structure, this angular design that calls attention to how it is built, and maybe in the process suggests that it could be built a different way. Perhaps a good comment on also the social situations of the show, that it could be different. I hope that you come, I hope that you see it, and I don't care if you like it. The cool thing about this show is there seems to be a love and hate thing. I'm not sure where I am on it, but when you look on the New York Times webpage for the Broadway version of this, the show got a high star rating from posters, from commenters, but it's all 5s and 0s. And I think that's the important part of it, that there's clearly something to be discussed about what's being presented. The show has an opinion on why people do what they do and who's making decisions. And I think we have a wonderful situation in front of us because when you know you've got the basics locked down, you can have a real and tough discussion about what's going on out in the world. That when you have agreement and unity in the things that genuinely count, you can argue about the tariff and not worry about somebody shooting you in the neck over it. And so I hope you show up. I hope you get into it. But moreover, I hope you think about it and are willing to start a little bit of a discussion, good or bad, right or wrong. At this point, I'm going to, I guess, turn it over to Mr. Greer for a clip. Thank you.
Hello, America. Look at your president. Now back at me. Now back at your president. Now back at me. Sadly, your president isn't me. But if he washed with old Hickory, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Look back. Where are you? You're on the moon. With a president who kicks major. What's in your hand? Back at me, I have it. It's a Twinkie with 2 tickets to bloody, bloody Andrew Jackson. Look again. The tickets are now on fire. Anything is possible when your president is an old Hickory president. I'm on a bill.